Hello, guten Tag, konnichiwa, bonjour. We are now moving on to Principled BSDF Dielectric Edgeware, and the Edgeware I have edited, so I'll explain what I've done when I get there. But for now, let's start at the very top, which is the Principled BSDF. So this all might be easier to show if I add Shift A, Mesh, Monkey. Good old Suzanne. Oh, darling, how you doing? Right, I'm just going to put a subdiv so that she doesn't look so offensive. There we are, and just apply the material. It should be that one. Is it that one? Let me just double check. Nope, not that one. So I've got a couple in here because I've had to edit a few things. Right, where are you? Come on, I know it's one of these. Master. It's not master. Oh, give it a rest. That one? There we go. Okay, so first up, obviously, we need to take the displacement right off and do the old scale trick. 0.01. Now we can get cracking. So this is just bog standard Principled BSDF. You've got roughness, your specular, your metallic, anisotropic, subsurface. So roughness, I'm sure you can imagine what that's going to do. It makes it not rough. And specular, I'm sure you know what that's going to do. Turn it off. Those little highlights are gone. But pretty much everything has at least some sort of specular. But not that much. So let's turn that down because there's a monkey. Metallic, make some metal. We're going to need a bit of less roughness to show that. There we are. So now we got metal Suzanne, and the anisotropic, I believe, is the way the light refracts around or around the grain, the way the metal's been brushed, the way it's been made, and the anisotropic rotation just moves that around like that. So you know, when you look at the bottom of a frying pan, you get this kind of effect. As I say, it's just the way the light is interacting with the material itself and how the metal was made. So metallic, done. We don't need an anisotropic when she ain't metal. Subsurface, you've got a couple. This one's here, just if you want it. But I would recommend using the dielectric subsurface, which we'll get to in a second. So subsurface, custom color are these nodes. We'll go over those separately just after we've done this node, so as to save confusion. The dust. If there's no dust, this works better with stronger angles. Let me just see if I lighten old Suzanne's color. That's maybe easier to see. A little bit pink. Control, click, drag. Control, click, drag. I don't even know if you need to hold control, but okay. And the sun is brutal. What's it on? 30. Jesus. Take it down to 10. That's better. So back to dielectric and all that, and a dust. So we should see a difference now, a bigger difference. Yeah, there you go. So it uses ambient occlusion data. So anywhere in the edges, the creases where geometry meets geometry at varying angles, you can add a little bit of dust. This is more effective on different things. On Suzanne it's not massively effective because her edges are quite smooth, but if it was an angled wall you'd see the gaps. So that's the dust, and there's the color. The dielectric is, without going into too much detail, it's how light reacts with things in life. It's a PBR. It becomes a PBR material. So It's got a little Fresnel. I always call it Fresnel. It's a Fresnel. Check the preface, Fresnel. I'm not French. So this control reflection, it's up to you if you want to use it. I mean, if we put something in, like a cube, just drag it down, GY, bring it forward, get it out of the way a little bit, and make it red. No, red. I forgot, I got a cup of tea. Sorry, hang on. Go have a morning cup of tea. So, yeah, if we totally smash up the reflection, it literally just reflects. But obviously at full, it removes the rest of the colour. It just becomes really reflective. But you can add a bit of reflection in there depending on what material you're making. Roughness again. That's obvious. That's obvious what that does. Bit of reflection. There you go. So you can see it's reflecting. It's very almost, you could use that for making marble. But we're going to leave the roughness here. Subsurface. There's your colour. If you're making human skin, then you would likely want a bit of subsurface scattering, which is when the light interacts below the surface, so it kind of goes through the surface and then bounces off back out through the skin. So that's why you get this kind of orangey glow. Gives it a skinny feel. So that's the subsurface in the dielectric. And I'm going to take it out because it does add quite a bit of rendering time, does old subsurface. The colour filter, if I can try and show you by picking a really utterly wrong colour, scale 20. So this is just when I was making human skin, I needed patches, like maybe the mole or something like that. So I just needed something else another colour to add to it without having to use the colour effects. So, and this is, I think it's another, it's a noise filter. So scale, detail, roughness, distortion, muck around with that. And you can, create patches of different colours. And while we're on there, these three RGB mixers here are, as it says, for dielectric, because not for some reason, it's, as you can imagine, quite complicated behind the scenes. So to get, once you're in dielectric mode, to go through and also use the same mixers proved impossible with the way it's set up. So I had to have separate set of mixers to use the color effects when you're in dielectric mode. So for example, and it uses these controls. So if we actually let's put that to screen. Sorry, I'm a bit far away from where's screen? It moves every time. I don't get why the menu changes. Sometimes screen's there, sometimes it's down there. Can we not have consistency? And when the sun comes out, I can't see. Does that say screen? It does. Okay, so yeah, and then if we put that in, it's hard because actually it's white. So let's just put it on multiply. Okay, so that's color effects 1, and all the same controls here. You just use these instead of these mixers. So let's see what happens with that one. So it's FX2, and again, all the same controls. You use these guys. It's just you go to the right instead, and that will look weird on old Suzanne because that one is a wave. Okay, so that's your dielectric color mixers. Excuse me. Last time I'm done now. Okay, now dielectric, Edgeware. Let me turn off dielectric, and in fact, let me make this darker again. You'll see why. Take that down to there, and then click drag. Okay, now she's darker. So the Edgeware has been troublesome to say the least. I fixed it, didn't save it, came back, expected it to be broken. It wasn't broken, but I had to do something to make it work better. So if you pretty much ignore most of what I just said, and just accept that I've changed the Edgeware mix, and I'm going to re-upload this version of 3.3 with this here, excuse me, because I've removed the colour effects, the colour shape ramp, the Edgeware shape ramp from here. There's no need for it anymore because it's here, and I've put this out here now because this I don't know of a way to switch that outside of a group, and it can be important. And at the moment it's on B-spline because I want a very soft transition between the edges or the edgeware and the rest of the head. So the edgeware is, as you can see, it's just adding a lighter hue to the edges. If this was on, I don't know, linear, these edges will start to get sharpish. See, as we bring them together. But that's what the edgeware does. It just adds a bit. It's useful with metallic objects, I suppose. Yeah, edgeware. Done. Okay, so custom color. Let's get to the nose. So let me just turn off the edgeware for this. Okay, so I've set the color and roughness nodes up already, and all you need to do is click your object either up here, I mean I've got it in my quick menu, which I will be doing in future, and then texture paint. And in texture paint you need to be in viewport shading, so press N if the menu isn't over here, so N will bring that up, and then click on one of these and paint basically, and they're set up with their blend mode. So screen, this one's screen, and this one is the multiply. And screen being, as you probably remember, lighter shades will show and darker shades will be completely ignored. So if we paint that, save all images, go back to rendering mode, and once you've done that you need to mix it in. So custom color mix, and it says custom color screen for that one, custom color multiply for this one. So custom color mix, in we go. There she blows. So there you go, that's screen. What's important is you always remember to click save all images after you're done. So I'm going to now go back to texture paint. I'm going to select my fill tool, and if that menu's not there, just press T. Boop. And I'm going to fill in black. X switches between color 1 and color 2. So I'm just going to fill that in black, remove that, save all images, nip over to multiply, and just paint a dark color, I guess, blue. And by the way, if you press F, you can change the size on the fly, which is way easier than going up there. Okay, and we'll give them a little patch, save all images, and then let's go back to viewport, rendering, shading, whatever it's called, and then we need to, well, we can turn that off now because we've not got anything, and then custom color 2. Is that custom color 2 mix? Yep. Ah, I painted on the roughness. Oh, blast. Right, make sure you click the right one. I've painted on the roughness, the roughness channel. Didn't mean to do that. I meant multiply. So let's do that again. Patchy. Right, so I got. Right, now save all images. And then head back. And then we go, we've got a patch. So that's how you can use these custom colors, so you can paint anywhere. You can paint your own edgeware if you want. But yeah, so you've got the option of changing it even further and having it interact. And the roughness channel is, it's exactly the same thing. You go in there, you paint. Black is full reflectivity, white is full roughness. So if you wanted certain patches of Suzanne to be a bit sweaty, you could just paint the roughness in with a bit of black. And on the roughness channel, save all images, and then the roughness slider is here, custom roughness mix. Mix that in, and that's the lot, I believe. That is custom color, all that done. Yes, as I say, the edgeware, if you don't see this, you've got the older version, just nip onto the downloads page and get version 3.3. It's still 3.3 because it's only a minor change, and all the tutorials are recorded for 3.3. So if I then put up 3.4, it's going to confuse. So finally, after we're done here, which we are, we're going to do this, which is, in all honesty, it's a bit of a muck about. I just put it in there because it was cute. So we'll just quickly talk about the abstract. But that is custom color, Principled BSDF, Dielectric, Edgeware, Dust covered. So I'm going to see you in the next one, y'all. Bye bye.